seen it all. We've won the Lord. We are Man United and we never gonna stop.
Never gonna stop.
Ole, ole,
Ole, ole,
ole, ola.
ole.
Ole, 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 ola. We've seen it all. We won the Lord. We are Man United and we never gonna stop. Ole, ole.
It's the whole
But
back.
what's inspiring you with this intro, my friend? Of which I'm backing you up.
Charlie, what do I have left? Hope. See, if I don't back myself up. So you saw the intro video we showed you. That was the thing that happened the last time at Honeysuckle. So please, if you want a place to enjoy the game, Spotty FM, United, Man United FC Ghana, and also us will be there. So join us. Let's create that same atmosphere again. You saw how tense and exciting it was the other time. Well, we are doing it again. So remember to join the guys there. Nathan will be there. Kwame will be there in spirit. Akumia will be there in spirit. I'll be there. All of us. So join us. If you are not joining us in spirit, join us physically. Let's have fun there at Honeysuckle Airport branch. And let's have fun. Today I'm joined by the guys. We are going to do a big preview of the final of the Europa League against Tottenham Hotspur. Ange Postecoglou's team, the man who says he wins things in his second season. We are up against him, lost 3 times against Spurs already this season. Ruben Amorim has lost twice already, all at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But this is a neutral ground, a ground where we have already tasted the soil, the grass, the air, everything already. Scoring 3 goals there. So we are here to discuss everything. I'm here with Nathan Obodai Kwao, who, after moving to Spotty, has never is joining us.
He's been a busy man.
He's a busy man, so we've allowed him. He has settled. Now he's settled at Spotty, so we can bring him back on the podcast. Nathan, great to have you back on the podcast.
Thank you, guys. It's been a while, but I've been watching the episodes. I've been following the conversation. So yeah, I've not been out of tune. So yeah, it's nice to have. It's nice to be here. Thank you guys for having me once again.
Great. And the Messiah, who got triggered out of nothing this morning. You should go and check his X handle. He got triggered and started tweeting, "And Man United this, and Man United," forgetting the house coming from. What you don't know the house you come from, man.
It's good to be here, and I'm happy to see all of you. My boss is here. My boss, Nathan. Wow. My boss, I'm good. I've been around.
Wonderful.
It's exciting.
I've been monitoring most of the things that you guys are also doing around because of, I and Michael have been around for quite some time.
Yeah.
So
yeah, wonderful. Great stuff.
Yeah.
It's great. Kwame. Dr. Kwame Nchubuesi.
Doctor.
As for me, I did for you always.
So you know how to do it. Remember to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and also share the videos with your friends. Leave a comment. It's very, very important that you join us here on United and everything football. Let me make a quick turnaround. When I come back, we are discussing 2 things. We are going to spend a chunk of the time analyzing the final, what we need to do, and everything. I'll share some few statistics with you about United in European Cup finals and also about Tottenham Hotspur in European Cup finals. And then I'll get to my guys and then we'll break the match down. And then also the news of David Beckham backing Ruben Amorim. Kwame has been
settings.
Yeah.
Settings.
Serge
Ratcliffe settings.
Proper settings. See, when Beckham talks, I listen.
When we get there, we talk about it. So let's make a quick turnaround. When we come back, we'll be here to talk about everything United, everything football. All right, thank you very much. Welcome back to United and Everything Football. It's very exciting having my brothers here with me to discuss the game against Tottenham Hotspur. So I was just doing a random check on Google, and so I was just checking United's overall record in European finals. Well, in the Champions League, we've gone for 5 finals. We won in 1968, we won in 1999, we won in 2008. Then a devil called
Pep Guardiola
popped up and decided to deny us 2 Champions Leagues. And so we have won 3 over 5. Now, we've gone for the Europa League final twice. Jose Mourinho, the Portuguese, won 1. And then a certain man who gave us memories in 1999 decided to bottle it in Nantes. That's about 2 years ago. Where was that? Why did we even lose? That was
I think that was in 2021 or so.
2021.
2021.
So only decided that he would deny us that. Now, the other European Cup that we've won is the Cup Winners' Cup. We played against Barcelona in that one in 1991, and Sir Alex Ferguson won that. It's part of the trophies that gave Sir Alex Ferguson time to be able to continue, to start and continue his legacy at Man United. So that is it. And then you can talk of the Super Cup. As for the Super Cup, I don't know why we even play.
No, they don't count. They're not proper trophies.
Because we don't do well at all. 4 Super Cup appearances, we won just one. And that was in 1991. Anyway, so that's it with Man United. Well, let me go to Tottenham Hotspurs. For all those who are thinking they've never won it before, well, they've won the Europa League twice. They won it twice in 1972 and 19...
In its old incarnation.
But not in its glory as it stands now. So Ange
they won the very first one, right?
Yes,
they won the very first.
That was the Cup Winners' Cup. The first English side to win a European trophy. That was Tottenham.
No, I think that was the UEFA Cup.
UEFA Cup. Okay. No, They won the UEFA Cup. But the first trophy they won was the Cup Winners' Cup.
Winners' Cup.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's it. Anyway, guys, let me start with you, Nathan. General thoughts. How are you feeling? I mean, as a United, let me get into your innermost being as a United fan. This is a safe space, right? Safe space. Nobody here has 4 of us. Just talk.
Okay.
How are you feeling?
I don't know. I feel very torn about this final. One part of me wants to win, of course. Yes, your favorite club goes into a final. You want them to win. You are happy. You watch the replays for 6 months to 1 year to 5 years. You always go back to it. There's a Champions League ticket and everything. So on one hand, it excites me. On the other hand, I don't think that United need to win this Europa League final. And I'll explain why. I know it sounds quite controversial. I'll explain why. Now, I think that the burden of playing in the Champions League next season will disrupt this team's learning process. Now, this team has struggled to understand all the things Ruben Amorim has wanted to teach or is teaching and will want to teach. And so when you add the extra burden of 8 Champions League games and the natural expectation that Man United will have to do well, I get really scared because it is the weight of expectation that will crumble this team and it will crack a lot of these players and they will perform horribly in the Champions League. Then the pressure increases. Then they become the talk of the media. Everybody talks about Man United and it's the same cycle all over again. It's almost like the team is chasing its season just when the season starts. So I don't think that this team needs to play Champions League. I think for the sanity of this team, I think that for the benefit of the team, for the fact that this team is still learning to play this new way, and this new way requires a lot of repetition, a lot of physical work, and a lot of tactical understanding, I wouldn't want this team to play in the Champions League next season. I'd be more delighted if United played one game every week and they had time in between to be fresh, to be ready, and to be focused. And I take that inspiration from what Chelsea did under Antonio Conte, where they didn't have European commitments and they went on to win the league, coincidentally playing the same 3-back system. I know it may not be the same team, the context may be different, but I kind of feel that this team is far away from becoming very optimal under Ruben Amorim, and he will need another half season, probably another season for these players to fully grasp, for it to become second nature, and for us to see what it is we all want to see. So that's where I stand. If United beat Spurs, I'll be delighted. Yes, we won another trophy. We are happy, blah, blah, blah. But I look at the disaster of the Champions League campaign that happened last season. Just when Erik ten Hag was trying to get the team to play in a way he would have wanted, it was a disastrous show. We won only one group game. We became the talk of the town. And it's almost like the season, United started chasing the season from that point on. The pressure never went away. The bad news never went away. Nobody recovered from that campaign, and it's led us here. So that's my genuine thought about this Europa League final. Added to the fact that a part of me doesn't trust these players. I get really scared thinking about the fact that on the biggest night, they'll show up and not perform for 80 minutes. And by the time they are ready to play, we are 3-0 down and the game is gone and we can't come back. So those are just my honest feelings when I think about Wednesday night in Bilbao and the fact that we are going to play Spurs for the right to be called Europa League winners and for a ticket to next season's Champions League.
Anyway, for me, I can't take it. I can't take it if for all this thing for a team like Tottenham or Spurs to do it over us. But before I get to Kwame, let me come to Akomia. Akomia, it's just the no one hears us. No one. When you say nobody hears it, just the four of us.
Oh yes.
Talk to me.
I think I have zero hopes going into this particular final. And I'm on the same tangent with my boss, Nathan Kwao. I actually believe we need to play one game a week. I also believe that there are certain players within the team who needs to be rewarded. For example, Bruno Fernandes. You look at players like Harry Maguire, who have been in the team for quite some time now. Luke Shaw lost the Europa League final the other time. These guys would need to be rewarded at some point in time. And some of these trophies will give them the opportunity to earn that particular kind of reward they've always deserved at some point in time. But in reality, I think when you look at this team and what we want to do next season and how we want to rebuild and be competitive enough on all fronts, I think playing once a week is really going to benefit us. We don't have the quality squad depth to compete on all four fronts because in the Champions League now, you don't play like 6 games in a group stage. Now you play like 8 games. And if you are quite unfortunate to get into the next round, which is not a round of 16, but the playoff zone, you need to play an extra 2 games, which is also another burden to look out for. So I think Ruben Amorim wants to do something for the fans. He believes some players deserve to be rewarded by winning this trophy. But I think in the general perspective, this team needs to be playing once a week. Let's not kid ourselves and let's not move ahead of time. And I think winning trophies at some point in time has also derailed our progress in terms of rebuilding this club. Anytime we win a trophy, we try to speed up the kind of rebuilding we are trying to do. FA Cup, when we went to the Europa League final, at some point in time, we do a lot of things. But when we fail to win it, we'll come back to reality and we start taking things step by step. That is my honest opinion about this particular game. But I think no team has ever beaten Manchester United 4 in a row in a season. This is where the problem comes in.
No team has beaten United 4 in a row. Okay, Kwame.
No.
Before I'll come to you guys. I'll come back to you guys, and then we'll break the game itself down. But Kwame, the way you are smiling, it's like you are coming to add Nathan and Akomia and then throw them somewhere.
I'm about to roast both of them. They're falling into a ditch. And let me tell you what ditch they are falling into. In human psychology, there's something called conditioning. There's something called conditioning.
Yes. Ivan Pavlov.
Thank you very much. When you lose, thank you so much. When you lose so often, so much, at a point in time, you begin to accept losses and defeats and begin to think that is what you are. When you are sold mediocrity for so long, at a point in time, you accept it that is what you are, forgetting who exactly you are. And then you are Manchester United. The standards have been low standards have been sold to us for so long a period of time, especially this season. Yeah. So much so that some fans are beginning to accept the fact that this is where Manchester United should probably be. We should be humble, accept wherever that we are, and then try and build from there. That is a grave error, a grave mistake. The moment we begin to lose our identity, we begin to lose who we think that we are, then there's a huge problem. Before I even get into why we should win this match, we desperately need to win this matches. If we don't win, Nathan, Akomia, I don't want any of you on Twitter crying and begging for players this summer. You seem to have not forgotten yourselves because the financial implications of qualifying for the Champions League,
of course, yeah,
mean so much in terms of trying to recruit and rebuild the way that you are claiming that we should rebuild.
True.
If you don't have money, because it's the rules are the problem, not the fact that somebody can pump money to Manchester United. The rules dictate that you have to be able to do certain things to be able to bring in more money. And one of those ways is qualifying for Champions League football.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of being sentimental about the issue. If you want to build Manchester United back to where it needs to be, you need to bring in cash. You have to win the Europa League. You have to qualify for Champions League football. And which better way to test yourself in terms of wherever that you are or wherever you want to get to than to play against the very best? Manchester United should not be afraid to face the very best in the world. We should embrace it. We should embrace it. I've never been an advocate of us playing one game per week. And I've always said it for years. Kwame, you know this. Because I've seen that theory play out so many times. And there's always just...
It never works for us. One game a week.
It never works for Manchester United. It doesn't.
No, but I'm curious.
Every season.
Kwame, when Louis van Gaal came in, remember when Louis van Gaal came in his first season? I can't seem to. Did we have European football then?
First season. Let me try and recollect.
That was
the
14,
year before.
15.
The year before was Moyes. Moyes took us to 8th place or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
We finished 7th. I don't think we made Europe.
Hold on. Manchester United placed 4th. We didn't win a trophy. It was a waste of a season, in my opinion.
Okay.
Top 4. See, the thing is, let's not define ourselves by, qualifying for European football is enough. In my opinion, that's how come I was almost against Sitcho's line of thinking last season. I value trophies over everything. Okay. It's just over the past decade, past 15 years, that Champions League football has become the top 4. Let me put it that way. Top 4 has become like a thing. I took top 4 for granted because I always expected Manchester United to be in the top 4 anyway. But over a period of time, what has happened is we are struggling to even qualify for Champions League football. So it's become something that we need to do. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But winning trophies is paramount to everything. When Louis van Gaal took over, I don't think the tax for him at the time was, top 4 that season is enough. If you can recollect, so just like a year after Moyes had just bottled everything, then the scope was different from now. Now the scope is that, there are too many teams better than us, so if you qualify for the top 4, it's fine. If you had a trophy, it's even fantastic.
Yeah.
But my point is, let's not lose sight of what we are. We are Manchester United. Manchester United deserves to be playing the elite competition in Europe. Manchester United deserves to be competing for the best players in Europe. If you want all these things to come to fruition, we must win the Europa League, use the backdoor route to qualify for the Champions League. Otherwise, I'm repeating, I don't want to see you on Twitter. Akomia, this morning you were ranting, you were begging, sign this players, move on to the next player, no announcement. I don't want to see any of that because we won't have money. If we don't have money, we can't sign players. So don't complain. I'm giving you a chance.
We will sell Rashford. We will sell Antonio.
Hold on.
We will sell Sancho.
I'm giving you a chance to review your opinion in the next
I'm not reviewing
and probably
anything.
take it back.
I'm not reviewing anything.
So let's establish this. If I see you tweet, I'm coming at you straight away.
All right, guys, let's get into the game. I mean, Nathan, if you are Ruben Amorim, what are you thinking? How are you looking at the squad? I mean, there are some few concerns. Players like Lenny Euro, Delict, we are not too sure what to make of them now as to their availability, where we are told that players like Dalot, Zegzi are likely to be on the bench, like news popping around in there. But how are you going to set this team up to maximize them enough to be able to have a go or a crack at winning the trophy?
I think I'll go with a lot of the players from the 2 games against Lyon and Bilbao. I think if I'm a Ruben Amorim, I'd go with a large part of that squad. So I think there's no I don't think there's a reason to gamble on Euro or De Ligt. So we probably have to go with Lindelof, who I'm not very comfortable with, but I guess he's fit, so you play him. I'd go with Lindelof, Maguire, and who usually plays as part of that? Lindelof, Maguire, Mazraoui. Well, Mazraoui may have to play as a wing back.
Okay.
So if he's playing as a right wing back, then I guess there's no option than to start Luke Shaw and manage his minutes. And then you have Dogu as a left wing back. And then I wonder that should he go with Casemiro and Ugarte and play Bruno further up to affect the play, or is Casemiro and Bruno? Then you have Ahmad, Garnacho, and then I would start with probably Kobbie Mainoo as a false nine, or maybe have Bruno play as a false nine, and then have Ahmad and Garnacho play in behind, and then Casemiro and Ugarte in midfield. Because the point is this: when you start Højlund, we've seen Højlund. I think he's going to struggle. Mm-hmm. His confidence is on the floor. I don't know how he'll handle that Spurs backline. And with the game meaning so much, I don't expect Man United to open up very quickly and try anything risky. I would expect Ruben Amorim to manage the game as it goes on and take those opportunities as and when they come. I wonder, I think Spurs, with the way they play often under Ange Postecoglou, I expect them to be on the front foot. Maybe that can help Man United if they can play on the break, if they can play on the counter, and then they can proceed to win the game, probably score a couple of goals and force Spurs into a corner. So that's the shape I would look at. I wouldn't start Højlund. I'd rather go with Bruno or Kobbie Mainoo, depending on the task Bruno has to do on the pitch. But I certainly will not start with Højlund. As for the others who are racing against fitness, I think Amorim has to keep them all on the bench and see as and when they will be useful. If Euro can give half an hour, why not bring him in off the bench? If the others can do same, Dalot, bring him in off the bench. Because what you don't want is to start a player who's not 100%. He doesn't give you anything. You take him off and you'd have wasted one substitution. Whereas if you had kept all your cards, you would have had more options to throw at Spurs as the game is wearing on, depending on what's happening. So I think I'd go with that shape. Bruno or Kobbie Mainoo to lead the line. Garnacho and Ahmad to play behind. And then you figure out the rest of that midfield. Either Bruno plays with Casemiro or Ugarte plays with Casemiro and have Bruno playing as a 10. So if Bruno occupies one of the 10 positions, then one of either Ahmad or Garnacho would have to come off the bench. I'd gladly have a player like Garnacho come off the bench as an option. Have Højlund as an option as well. And then you figure the rest out, especially the false nine position. Because I don't think Højlund in this shape will really give United a threat. If the game is stretched and Spurs' backline are getting tired, and all of that, then possibly you can throw Højlund on as an option. Or you are leading, you want somebody to try and do a job for you. I think he did a decent job in the FA Cup final. But between then and now, the hold-up play has deteriorated. The confidence is all over the place. He's not even sure of what it is he wants to do on a football field. So I wouldn't start Højlund at all. And I'll make a call as to who leads the line and make a decision as to one of either Garnacho or Ahmad, one of them on the bench. But I think that most importantly, Man United will need to recognize what it is that's at stake. And I agree with Kwame on that score that I think United know what it is that's on the table. The cash injection that the Champions League ticket brings, the pool that the pool that you can, the pool that United will have, that extra pool to bring a player in. Because some players, I'm sure, are sitting down and wondering, let's wait and see if United will make
Example, state an example yourself.
Example from what I've read all kinds of things. Victor Gyökeres, I believe, that he's sitting and watching. Should United make the Champions League? I think that, look, it's always an extra thing to throw at a player. You have Champions League football. It always helps. It always helps your case. If the player says, despite all of this, I don't want to play, that's a different story. But it can always turn a player's head if you have Champions League football to offer the player. The player knows that at least there are 8 good games to be played. And if you get a good result, or if you get a good chain of results, you could make the next stage and the next stage and the next stage. And for Man United at this stage, a run to say a quarterfinal is great. I would be very okay if United can navigate 8 good games, a playoff, a quarterfinal run, that's decent enough to tell somebody that, you know what, if you join us, we could possibly go further. So I completely agree with all the benefits that come with playing in Europe. And I hope the players and Ruben Amorim will understand for their own sake and for our own sake. Sometimes I think United players, maybe I could be wrong, maybe I'm exaggerating, but I sometimes don't see the urgency, the eagerness, the willingness, and the understanding of what a football game means to some of these players. I hope Wednesday night they can show it for their own sake, because for these players, winning this Europa League will tell them that, you know what, maybe with a bit more seriousness, with a bit more quality, we can do great things. And sometimes players look at trophies as reminders of what is actually very possible. And trophies can push players on. We know the Chelsea story. Once they won the League Cup, they knew they could go on to win other things. So maybe the Europa League is what Man United will need. But I agree with Ruben Amorim on one thing. It should not distract the hierarchy and everybody from the hard work that must go into properly building a squad, not just throwing players in hoping it will work or throwing money at the problem, but a proper rebuild so that it shouldn't take us 10 years. In a few years, we should consistently be mixing it up with the big boys in England and in Europe. And then we can say, yes, we are back. We are back to the big time and we are back to doing big things.
Okay, very, very, very detailed analysis from Nathan. I really enjoy that.
You know what? I've swayed Nathan to my side. It's never one guy.
About 2 hours ago, when I got home and I was thinking about the podcast, there was a part of me that totally agreed with you on the meaning of winning the Europa League and what it can potentially do.
Yeah.
So I agree with you on that. It's just that I don't know what it is. You talk about conditioning. Maybe I've been conditioned wrong.
Of course you are. It's normal. You're human after all.
Akomia, the stubborn academy. I know him.
Don't worry.
I think Akomia actually recognizes all the arguments. I just think that he's also been conditioned.
I've lost trust in this team.
We have about 7 minutes to go. So let me give
so I'll be very quick with this one.
Then I'll give the rest to Kwame.
Okay, I'll be very quick with this one.
I couldn't take as much time as you want.
No, I asked a question earlier on that. When was the last time you saw Manchester United losing to a single team 4 times in a season?
We barely even lost 3 times to a team in a season.
So you understand. Now, Tottenham Hotspur beat us in the league, both home and away. Tottenham Hotspur beat us in the cup game. I don't think these guys are going to allow it to continue for the 4th time. That is where I draw an inspiration from. But I agree with Nathan in terms of starting a midfielder as a false number 9. But I would love to go with Mason Mount instead of Kobe, because you need a certain level of intensity in this particular game. We don't play finals. We win finals. That is what I believe in. We don't go in there to go and play.
I would rather have Mount on the bench because I'm still very suspicious of his fitness.
Okay.
So I'd rather start him off the bench. But I agree with you totally. I agree with the principle that you're stating.
Yes. But I actually feel that this is the game that I especially need the big boys to step up. Bruno, Casemiro, Harry Maguire, even Mason Mount to step up because they've seen it all. You've seen Mason Mount play the UEFA Champions League final. Bruno Fernandes has been in this team for quite some time now. Harry Maguire has been there. He has played World Cup semi-finals. He has been at the Euros here and there. You can talk about players like Casemiro, who has played 7 European finals. He has also been there. So you need your big boys to step up in the finals for you. That is how you win the final. Tottenham will definitely come to this final to play. That is how I see them. They wouldn't come there to come and win. They will come dominate possession, try and play with their high line, try and enforce their game on Manchester United and make sure that they create enough and score by pinning Manchester United back. This is where the likes of Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes will need to be very intelligent in their movements and passes just to catch them out and make sure that we played in behind them with the likes of Alejandro Garnacho or even Amad Diallo so that we can get our goals and move on. Let's not go and do a lot of things in this particular game. I don't expect United to complicate things in possession, try and press here and there. We are not there to play. We are there to win the final. That is what I expect from the team. If you look at the previous games we played during the knockout stages of the Europa League, the quarterfinal, the second leg of the quarterfinal, we did not actually play. We just won the game against Olympique Lyonnais. in the semi-finals, in the first leg against Bilbao, whilst Bilbao was trying to play the game here and they create chances, put pressure on us in the first few minutes, we just scored and we just calmed every single next down. We won that particular game. In the second leg, the same thing happened. Bilbao came to play. And unfortunately, they were also not lucky. And we got our win and we moved on to the final. So I don't see us trying to do a lot of things, overcomplicating things, tactics here and there. I'm not in for formation in this particular game. I'm not in for systems in this particular game. I'm only trying to say that the big boys will need to step up. When Harry Maguire has his day, Bruno has his day, Casemiro has his day, Mason Mount has his day, I strongly believe Manchester United is going to win. They have enough experience within the setup to beat this Tottenham Hotspur team. But there lies their super player who always scores against Manchester United, Dominic Solanke. He always steps up when it comes to Manchester United. From Bournemouth to Tottenham Hotspur, he has always been, let me say, a bed box surrounding us anytime that we try to play against his teams. But this is the time I want United to show maturity. We've not come this far to fail. We've not come this far with the level of experience. We have much more experience than this Tottenham Hotspur team. We have much more experience in our setup. We cannot afford to joke around this particular final. Let's do to them what we did to City last season. We didn't go to play the final in the FA Cup. We went to win the final. That is the only way Manchester United can win this game.
Well, I'm enjoying this now. I'm enjoying it now. Kwame, do you know what comes to mind? I mean, I'll do this analysis in a minute. Against us at Old Trafford, we were outrun. I mean, they beat us 3-0, red card and all of that. But certain things stood out for me in the game at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. In the League Cup, Ruben Amorim rotated heavily, kept a lot of the senior players. We went down by about 2 or 3 goals. And then when the senior players came, we put pressure on Spurs. And if the game had gone on for some few minutes, we could have gotten results. Now, against them in the league, he went to do something. He outran the players and key players got injured. Ahmad was not available. Kobe Mainoo and a few players were not available. That game, we lost by 1-0, but I felt we played well enough in that game to have at least gotten a draw. So aside the first game at Old Trafford where they outran us and overpowered us, I think the last 2 games were quite close. And that's my opinion. I don't know if you guys should watch those 2 games again and analyze it that way.
Yeah.
Kwame, one minute.
The issue with them is it goes beyond just this season. We haven't beaten Ange Postecoglou as Spurs manager over 2 seasons. 5 games we've not won against them. Just 1 draw and 4 losses. But as for me, I'm going for football heritage. I put up this Twitter post. Why United will win? Football heritage. Casemiro has won 7 finals, 7 European finals. Like he's played in 7, he's won 7. We won the Europa League the last time City went trophyless, if you can remember.
Yeah.
Then the reasons why
Guardiola says you are wrong. Community Shield.
I'm going for both ways. So that guy. Why Spurs will win? Kane, Newcastle, Palace trophy, their trophy case has been broken this season. All these things.
Yeah.
Angie's second season quote. He said he always wins a trophy in the second season. Usually. Everywhere he goes. And they have beaten us 3 times this season. But see, all this doesn't matter to me. We'll play the occasion. We won't play the football game. If we play the football game, it's a Premier League game. We'll probably lose. Yeah. But we'll play the occasion and then Manchester United will win.
Guys, it's been exciting.
4-1. 4-1.
Hey.
Yes.
That's a huge score.
Boom.
Wow.
4-1.
Guys, it's been exciting. It's been exciting to have you guys. Michael Akubiana, Isaiah, Nathan, Kwame Chubwesi. Thank you so much. The next time you see us, it will be a reaction from Honeysuckle, from a lot.
Either crying or being happy.
But we'll be happy.
We should be happy, otherwise problem.
All right, so guys, thank you so much for watching, for liking, subscribing, and everything. We are so grateful to you. We'll see you at Honeysuckle after the game, and we'll bring you the reaction. Have a great time, and bye-bye.